Welcome to Reality and Chill with Nishi
And Kenny.
how's it going, Kenny? How's your week
Well,
been?
I enjoyed our watch party last night. That was quite fun. And
I
yeah, I'm really looking forward to diving into the Valley today. I've been watching season 6 of Vanderpump Rules, which has been super fascinating because Zach was introduced. So now, obviously, after watching the Valley, during the time of Vanderpump Rules, like when Jax had cheated on Brittany. And then when he broke up with her, do you remember that? It was during when Lala was releasing music. And so Jax actually broke up with Brittany. And Zach was introduced at that point as Brittany's long term friend. They grew up together in Kentucky.
yeah,
And you see him like consoling her in
no,
season 6 of Vanderpump Rules. And I just think it's amazing because in this particular episode of The Valley, you see him going through like coaching her and saying this is a trauma response, like do I have
mm,
anything to be worried about, the fact that you're still talking to Jax when she blew the lid open on Kristen's engagement, but just the way he coached her then, it's like this has been going on forever. Yeah, it was pretty
wow.
amazing to see.
I should really go rewatch it as well. I can't even remember. You wouldn't remember, right? Because he's probably just come in like on the side. But
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was in there. That's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah. I literally just like this morning because I was after the gym. I was like, oh, I just feel so knackered after wrapping up work and everything, and it's just like, it's like my kind of, if it's not if comfort food, it's my comfort food. Rewatching this, and it was just like so nice. But yeah, it was just amazing after, and knowing that we're going to have today's chat about the Valley and what went down this episode to then see this. It's so amazing actually to sort of be watching all that drama and trauma and just ridiculousness. And,
Mm.
here we are all these years later. It's
It
nuts.
is
It's so
wild.
nuts.
Can I just add, you know how last episode you mentioned the archetypes and that Casey, what's her name? Kate Casey? I
Yeah.
listened to a little bit of the start. I have to listen to I'm so listening to the full episode because it is so good. But one thing that she said at the beginning was talking about sort of like documentaries and reality TV and why when we watch it, it's like you're going back into college days in America they call it college, but uni, school, and you're sort of studying like a film. And then you start to go and break it down. And that just was like a penny drop for me because I go, oh, this is why I love it so much. I feel like I'm going back to a psychology class that I did in uni and I'm breaking
Yeah.
down behaviors. And even just watching over time, like you said, Zach coming through and like, all these trauma responses and these relationships that have been going on for so long. I don't know. I love it. And I just love breaking down the
It's
behaviors.
it's so fascinating. And it's the thing, you're either in or you're not. Like people either don't get it or the type of reality TV they're watching is more like the competition stuff or like a
Right.
dating thing. They like I think unless you've done those years and
Yeah.
seen, like, because once you're in because you're so fascinated and invested, and it's really fun as well to predict. I love predicting behaviors because
Mhm.
it's kind of, particularly when you see somebody just repeat the same mistakes and you really kind of hoping that this time around they'll make some decent life choices and get off that wheel, and have the courage to change. But quite often that just takes so many radiations, what's the word for it,
Situations, yeah.
yeah, of the same kind of drama. So, but yeah, I mean, the great thing about this episode is we see Kristen making some great changes. She's just so cool. I mean, she lost her cool this episode, but the way she tried to have a really mature conversation, she wasn't going into battle. She wasn't defensive. With
Hmm.
Janet, she was literally looking for resolution. And
Absolutely.
but yeah, you poke the bear and she will blow up, which I appreciated because it was warranted. Yeah.
My blood was a boiling this
Yeah.
episode. Wow. And I was 100% with Kristen, 100%. And yeah, absolutely warranted. And yeah, well, let's break it down because that was full on. Like Janet, mate, she grinds my gears. She's just the way she's just so poised. Like you said, Kristen tried to sit down, have a conversation with her. She's on this boat, and she just can't help herself and just double down and just dig in and just do those nasty pokes from the side that are just so defamatory. I'm like, how dare she? How?
It's like her intention, which is really fascinating. So to see when two people sit down or you have a conversation, her intention wasn't to have resolution, it was to create drama.
Yes.
And she took it to such a level so far. There's no coming back from that, but we know her nature already. She doubles down. She doesn't at any point go, oh, I should reel that back in now. Instead, now she's going to try and reinforce her point of view and just make sure she's right. It's just, yeah.
Exactly. And you know what? Intention is everything, like you're saying. Her intention with bringing this Danny and Nia thing up and talking about Jasmine, it's not because she wants to be a good friend for and back Jasmine and Michelle up. It's not because she's like, you know what, they're hurt crying in the corner and I want to stand up for them. No, it's I want to prove a point because you talked about my innocent husband. I'm going to call this out about Danny and Nia for whatever reason. And it's just like, it's not the same thing because she's like, oh, well, my husband is innocent, but her husband, Nia's husband, is, XYZ. And I'm just like, you do not care about Jasmine at all because really, at the end of the day, Jasmine should be the victim in all of this. You just want to tear Danny down because someone's attacked your husband about supposedly not wearing a ring. Like, if you're a
Which is
decent.
just not a big deal anyway. Like, yeah, okay, my husband doesn't wear his ring every time when he goes out. Sometimes he's worked out, he's left it in the drawer. Like, it's just so easy to dismiss any of this. I mean, it's almost like she's, what's that saying? Thou protest too much. Like, why has she made it such a big thing? But I know it's actually no smoke there. I don't truly believe there's anything there. It's just she wants to create dramas. There's nothing there, and this is her only hope to stay relevant, is to be this dramatic, and meanwhile really damaging. Like, that is slander. Like, accusing Danny of what she accused him of. Like, I don't care the legal, the
Yeah.
correct legal terms. Did you watch the after show?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that as well. Yeah, I did because she's
Yeah.
like, technically, like, I can't stand how she goes about it because she just is hanging on the technicality of the wording and all of that sort of stuff. But it's like, hello, even with the law though, okay, it's about technicality, but it's also about the spirit and the spirit of intent. Where is it? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, she's not looking at what's behind it. She's just like, well, maybe I should have used another word that they feel is more appropriate. And again, putting them down, like in such a passive aggressive way. What do you want me to call it? I can call it anything, but really, at the end of the day, it's this. Like, how nasty! She's so nasty. She's so nasty. I can't deal.
Yeah, she doesn't have any redeemable qualities yet. And that's because she's doubling down. I think there'd be an arc for her to find redemption, I suppose, to be a kinder person. But because she's showing no kindness, and I think Kristen showing her maturity then when she was trying to explain herself, she's like, yes, I was being
Hello.
petty.
Wait, I feel
I
like I've lost
threw
track.
that out there because I was trying to protect Danny and Nia, and I thought it was unfair the way. And so she's really speaking from the heart. I'm really trying to move this into a space where it was her engagement time. She didn't want any drama. She wasn't looking for that. And then, yeah.
All right, we're back on the valley. We had a technical little glitch there.
Yeah.
But just picking back up on Kristen and Janet, mate.
Wow. I mean,
Like,
look, so I think with Janet, because I want to think that people can change for the better, right? So we know that Jax, for instance, is a narcissist. There is no hope because all he really wants is attention. And so by having him in reality TV means we're just feeding a beast. Now, with somebody like Janet, I'm trying to understand what's driving her. And how, is there a possibility that she can have growth? Chris has just shown us the amount of growth somebody can have over the years. And we are open to that. Audiences, we're so ready to forgive and see we want to see people progress. Where Janet is now, which is the most hated person on Bravo, is how does this work out for her? And I think for us to work that out, let's talk about the origin story, the fact that she was a fan. I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
I mean, to hear up in the after show, that they break it down a little bit more, and we find out. So she really came through Sheena. She was a fan of the show, and yeah, she acknowledges it. But she was happened to be at this party. Sheena was there, and I reckon that she was very strategic in going to Sheena, knowing that Sheena would be the weakest link, if I say it like that. Sheena wants to
the
be friends
friend
with
collector.
everyone,
Yeah, yeah. You just would have
and
to give her a few compliments. Like you could just imagine, it'd be so easy to manipulate Sheena, as we've seen many times before. Like
and
you
they
just need to
supposedly
blow
had a
smoke up her
mutual.
ass. Yeah,
Right. They had a mutual friend, whatever. She would have brought that up as well. So she
yeah.
didn't seem like a complete stray. But I'm sorry, my take on all of that is Sheena led in the stray, and then this is what happened.
Yeah, because like obviously she's gone the long game, right? But like, is it that she's such a fan of reality TV? She's had this opportunity, great, and I don't think fans, if I had an opportunity to be friends with these guys, I'd definitely take it up as well. I would like to think that then if I was ever on reality TV, I wouldn't be an asshole to my friends like Kristen, which is what she's done. She's just gone for her over and over and over again. So is it that she thinks this is a successful way to stay on reality TV? I'm just so confused by what's motivating her. The fact that she's been so loyal to Jax on one side and
Mm.
yet so disloyal to Kristen, to Nia, to Danny. Like, I cannot work her out. Like, I literally cannot understand her. I'm so
I
confused.
can't either. I can't put my finger on it, but I think
Mm,
that she basically I think that this is her way of creating a storyline to stay on the show, to stay relevant. I think she's a lot smarter than, we think. She's a lot manipulative. She's very
mm,
strategic. And I think she's not studied the show, but she's kind of really looked at, okay, what happens and, how to stay relevant, you need to create drama. She's now got her own little posse of people, I think. She's got Michelle. She's got Sheena. She's trying to be sort of the queen bee. Actually, I've been listening to the archetypes, like I was
right.
saying. So you've got Queen Bee, who's Kristen Doty, and she's coming in for the Queen Bee title.
Mm,
She's trying to knock Queen Bee off the pedestal, I think.
that makes sense. And with Sheena rallying behind her, who's always been like obviously going to have some resentment for the witches of WeHo, right? Because of earlier
Mm.
dismissals and earlier criticism of her, but her character. So she's probably really spawning this in Janet, and Janet is like a little bit of a mouthpiece maybe of Sheena as well. Like, is that possible? I don't know if anybody
Mm.
could really control her, but you're quite right. She's trying to take down the queen bee, and like it's really not working. And the thing with taking down a queen bee, when you're listening to that, is like if you fail, like you're so screwed. And yeah, that's where she's at the moment. She is so screwed. She doesn't realize how screwed she is yet, right? She's in complete, yeah,
This is the thing. They don't get it. The audience will call this out. Like, we
yeah.
just obviously finished an episode on Secret Lives. Demi's trying to do the same thing, knock Taylor off,
Mm,
trying to knock Queen, and the audience doesn't like it. Like, I mean, you know me. When I'm really feeling passionate about someone, I end up going on the Instagrams and I look at, like, how is the masses? How are they responding to this? And so, she restricted comments. Ages ago. She's now completely gone private on Instagram. I'm talking about Janet. Completely private, you can't see anything. So she's got apparently more DMs flooding through, and no one's having it. And then I go on to Kristen's Instagram, Danny and Nia's Instagram. They haven't even limited comments because they're not getting hate. People are just constantly supporting them. And it's because we can see who actually is genuinely authentic in all of this. And where, who's right, like not right or wrong, but like, yeah, they are good people. We can see when
oh,
it's bad intent and versus good intent.
what she did is so unforgivable from my perspective to Nia and Danny, a family of soon to be six, right, with their four kids. So like to throw that out there unwarranted, and I know we touched on this before we had our tech issue, so I don't want to go too far deep into it, but it's just it was kind of like I'd been punched in the stomach. Like it was a physical reaction to hearing her say that. Like I just could not believe she would do that to a friend. Like,
I It just, and have no remorse about it. Zero remorse. In fact,
Yeah.
she keeps going in,
Doubling down.
going in,
Yeah.
going in. And it's like,
Yeah.
mate, you are just like literally continuing to stab, and
Diabolical.
and you know what? Kudos to Danny and Nia on the way that they handled that on the show without reacting, like so far anyway. Like, you know, Nia keeps saying to Danny, just keep your peace, keep your peace. Oh my gosh, can you hear Elijah knocking on the door?
Elijah's
Um,
up.
he's like, do, do, do. Yeah, he's awake from his nap. I know, because we're going over his nap time now. We always record while he's sleeping. He's like,
This is not gonna.
you might see a toddler run in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I felt like Nia was just like, you know, keep your cool, Danny, keep your cool, and I was just like, you know what, kudos to them. Again, shows you that they can just stay. They're just such good people.
I think what was amazing for me is that for Danny said, "Oh, okay, well, this is it now. Like now the line has been crossed. Like so, we're no longer going to see Danny again trying to mend this bridge. Like how many times has he apologized to? You know, like. But what I'm looking forward to for the rest of this season is now seeing Danny staying strong and just saying, no, like there's. I don't want to see nice guy, beautiful Danny trying to build bridges anymore. I think
No,
he really just needs to build like a wall, and just
absolutely.
explain that your toxicity is not welcome in my world because yeah, we
No.
need to yeah, it's just it's so far past anything. All right, let's talk about Brittany because I found Brittany really annoying.
Me too. I mean, can I just say, her telling Jax I was about the engagement, I was just like, seriously, Brittany, like, pull it together. And she's like, oh my God, I did not know that he would go and write in the boys' chat. It's like, seriously?
This
Hello?
is this is the nasty, resentful Brits that we're going to see start to come out that I've predicted. So she
You
knew
reckon it's the
exactly what she
nasty
was
part?
doing. Yeah,
Really?
I think she knew what she was doing when she was telling Jax. How can you say you weren't? Like this was a bit of a
True.
retaliation because she wasn't involved in the engagement. I don't know how conscious she is of this yet, but
Mm,
without a doubt, this is Dark Side Brittany coming out, which I am glad to see her coming out because we're going to see a more balanced human. But like the fact that she's denying it, like you know, like oh, I just don't know. Like I was just at you know, number one, why are you talking to your ex all the time? Like at this point, he's you know you. Okay, I get that you have a son together. You need to keep it minimal. You shouldn't be talking to him about anything in your personal life anymore. Again, I just she's an enabler and yeah, she frustrates me no end and she shouldn't be giving any information to Jax. She of all people knows that he cannot hold a secret, so you know that was not kind.
no, and that was so, like, just to see how that played out for Kristen. Like, she literally woke up, hadn't even messaged her mum, and this guy is just screaming it out on the rooftops to his stupid boys chat. It's like, seriously. Also, proved Luke's point of why he didn't tell Brittany about the
Right.
engagement. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, thank goodness they
Yeah,
didn't tell
exactly.
her. And this is exactly why. And she was still like complaining about not being involved. And she was clearly upset about it, which is, yeah, I don't know. She just frustrates me. I'm not liking her at the moment. I'm really
I'm
not.
not. And it goes back to that conversation I said with me watching that season 6 Vanderpump Rules, but just where Zach was literally coaching her, going like, "What the hell is going on?" Like for him, he's actually thinking, "Oh, hang on a minute. If you're chatting with Jax about personal stuff like this, does this mean you're back into possibly going back to like?" He instantly went in concerned the fact that she might go back to Jax. He's like, "This is not good. Like, what are you doing, swinging back into this zone where you just sort of like?" Is this just a trauma response? I really love the way he managed that with Brittany. Rather than just telling
Absolutely.
her she's wrong, it's more like, hang on, no, there's
What
something deeper going on
red
here.
flag?
Yeah,
What?
massive
Let's
red
break this
flag.
down.
Yeah, yeah,
Brittany, Brittany, Brittany. Oh,
yeah.
like, I mean, and I didn't also what I didn't like was when her and Jasmine when they were at that little engagement party with the hors d'oeuvres or whatever, and then they were saying, "Oh, Danny and Nee's not here," and they were really sort of on their back for not being there yet. And Jasmine's like, "Oh, is he having another nap?" Like, come on, these guys were on the boat. Like they don't. there's so many just little jabs for no reason. Like,
It's
come
so
on.
ridiculous. Like, it's like they're really, I just didn't understand why they're trying so hard to take them down. Like, what is
Yeah.
the beef? Is it just jealousy? Again, I'm just trying to understand why. So what? Like, the whole thing is they all left together, right? And it was like, okay, you got to get ready soon because the food's only until 10. And we leave, that scene, you leave Kristen, she's going to have a shower in that place. So they're going to have to walk to their room, like go get showered and stuff, work out you know what I mean? Like they're not already
Yeah.
in their kind of room.
They're in the boat
So,
clothes. They probably smell like, fish. It's like, hello.
so yeah,
Like, it's just, why the digs? And then, yeah, Brittany doubling down and just being like, if we're not going to take accountability on, I'm like, come on, Brittany, let's get off this train. Like, come on. I don't know. It's a bit much, and I'm not liking that side of her. Whether she was annoyed about the whole day and all this sort of stuff
mm,
wasn't nice. She needs to check herself a little bit. And even
yeah,
Jasmine, I'm like, come on, like, enough with the digs. Like, he apologized. Like, why are we let the mouse go?
yeah. Let the mouse go. So true. Yeah,
I am sad, just quickly, to hear that Danny and Nia, it doesn't look like they're filming next season, by the way. This has really worn them down. Obviously, they have 4 children and they're probably, tired. But at the same time, um, I just think it's very sad that it's kind of led to this, and hope that they come back at some point.
they were too good for reality TV. That's the truth of it. They have integrity. They're very
Yeah.
kind people, obviously very serious churchgoers, and they've had to look at the integrity and what's gone
Yeah.
down, and that it just doesn't align with their values, which is really sad. It just sort of says this is a direction the valley's gone. You had
Mm.
some really good humans, which we would love to know more about. The audience loves them,
Yeah.
but because the show's so toxic, they're not staying around. Like, what does that tell you? It's just, yeah.
It's horrible, and I know they were like they were my favorites on the show. Like, I love Kristen
I'm
and
really
them,
sad
but
about it. Yeah.
their dynamic together was so sweet. And yeah, I'm really sad about it as well. I really, really hope that they come back. I mean, because it just now means that, I don't know, I feel like Janet won. Them not coming back means that Janet won a little bit, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that sucks. But
Yeah,
then
I
again,
really don't want to see Sheena on our screens anymore now
no,
as well.
she's
Like
turned
before,
me
I
off
was
as
kind of
well.
like Sheena and Lala, but now I know
No,
that Sheena and Janet are so close.
yeah.
I don't actually want Sheena back.
No,
Yeah,
I hear you. It's so funny you say that, because after I watched the after show today, when I watched this episode, I didn't like Sheena either. She is
yeah.
right up Janet's ass, and I was like, yeah,
I do
nah.
want to see Lala and Tom Schwartz.
Well, she posted a TikTok clearing that up, and apparently it's not a thing.
Yeah,
Them two
it's
being
just a
together,
fun kind of.
but those two being together, like as in those two even being
Yeah,
filming, I want to see them on the show.
yeah. I
Um,
did like in the after show where like they were explaining how Schwartz felt uncomfortable, but it's more because of what other people would think of him.
the optics.
Yeah, the optics, which says again so much about Schwartz, which is more about optics than like,
I
oh.
know. And I'm like, come on, man, just be a good friend. If you want to be there for him, be there for him. But don't worry about the optics. Who cares about the optics?
Yeah, or if you
Um,
don't want to live with him, don't live like right next door to him. Like make
yeah,
some changes in your life. Have you not learnt about hanging out with toxic friends yet?
no, he doesn't
Unbelievable.
have a
I just
backbone.
kind
He
of
doesn't
like, I'm a little bit like, Schwartz, come on.
get it together, dolls.
Get it together.
Um, yeah, yeah. Look, I don't know. Sheena is just, I can't do Sheena anymore either. She's just so annoying. But it's going to be interesting to see if Janet comes back. She's going to come back, but I'm like, hold on a minute. If these, there's did we talk about it last episode that she's apparently fled the country because she's getting the death threats? We talked about that. So if they're so bad, she shouldn't be filming next season. That's my stance on it. If it's so bad, like she's gone and recorded this podcast, I could only listen to like 30 seconds before I just was like, I can't listen to this anymore. She's got a whole episode. I don't know if it's on her own podcast or someone else's, but she talks about the death threats, and she just wants to go on there and just spread the word so that hopefully people stop doing it and just create awareness, supposedly. But I'm like, nah, you're setting this up. And it came out before this episode, by the way. So she's setting it all up because she knows she's going to get more hate, in my opinion. That's what she's doing. But yeah, if she's such a victim and it's so bad, don't film next season. that's where I stand on it. I'm
I
like,
just,
don't
like
come
I
back,
say,
girls.
my stance is if I have to watch Jax and Janet and Sheena next season in the Valley and not Nina, not Danny, not Kristen, not Luke,
Yeah,
like that, it's not really a show I'd want to watch or invest in.
I hear you.
Yeah. I just, you know, like I will get so, because, you know, we all know it's all about me managing stress levels. And I don't want to be like getting worked up about how frustrating it is to watch the same stuff over and over again, you know?
No.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen young, healthy families in the Valley. This was a premise, right? Young families. Like Kristen, Luke, their kids. Well, we've got one. Danny
Yeah.
Nina. What did you think of Michelle this episode as well?
What did we hear much about her? Not really. What
I
did she
just,
do?
yeah, I mean, she didn't do much at all, but I feel like she and Kristen were like they didn't seem to have any toxicity between them anymore. Like I think she was happy for her for the engagement. It seemed like it wasn't like there was no negative kind of side remarks. I didn't think from Michelle, so I just thought
No.
that was interesting that that's kind of developed a bit differently.
Well, yeah, because I think at Michelle's core, I don't think she's necessarily a bad person. Like Janet
Yeah.
can be quite malicious, right? So Michelle can put all her things aside with Kristen and just be like, you know what, congratulations, we're genuinely so happy for you, and so was Aaron, whatever his name is. Whereas Janet can't just swallow the pill and just say, oh, you know what, congratulations, and move on. And
Mm.
so this is where Michelle, she's for me neither here nor there. She, at the end of the day, I think she's just annoyed at Kristen because Jesse and Kristen are good friends now. And she's
Yeah.
like, ugh, rolling her eyes at it, you know, like, ugh, they're
Yeah.
just so
Okay.
close and friendly. But whatever. She's obviously
Yeah.
moved on. Why does it even matter at this point? But she just knows that Kristen's not going to be one of her girls. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't much else that happened in that episode. It was really just like the engagement party and then the boat ride with a couple of kind of cute beach activities and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the after show with that fight was everything to me. It was like it just sort of really broke it down, just seeing how the doubling down went down, Sheena and Janet's kind of, you know, relationship. It just sort of spoke volumes to me. It's amazing.
Yeah, man, Sheena. She just like she backs the wrong ones.
Yeah,
She just
always.
wants always.
Always.
Just reminded me.
Because I
Mm,
just think if somebody pays her compliments, that's what, you know what I mean? And that was always the issue, right? With the other girls that are keeping it real a bit more, they can see through that surface level. And so this is where Janet, like you say, it's like the perfect target for her. Because all you got to do is compliment Sheena. And she's like, you know, she's your ride and die. Yeah.
she's the weak link, man. I'm
She
just like
is.
with this group, like at how much like press they get, and like they're just so in the limelight. Like it's at a point where you have to be very careful about who you let into this group. I would
Mm,
think, right? Like people come in for cloud at that point. You don't know why they're coming
of
in, and you have
course.
to
Yeah.
have this trust to, you know,
Discernment. But
you
that was the
have to
thing I've
have
always
the
had with
discernment.
Sheena. Sheena was always just, yeah, she's always been like that. Yeah.
She has, and I'm just like, I don't know, she let the strays in.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, there's,
love
you
it.
know, if, yeah, have the discernment to know whether they're credible people and whether they're
It's a
just
really
good
big argument because
people.
it is like 10 years on or whatever, right? So, you know, like I do get that. She's been around for a long enough time, but it's just, yeah, it's just her character anyway. So,
It's character. It's character. And
mm,
she doesn't know how to call that stuff. Sheena doesn't anyway.
no, she doesn't.
But look, I mean, I think you're right. I feel like that covers everything for the Valley,
It's a
doesn't it?
wrap. It's a wrap for the Valley. I mean,
It's a
I don't know how many
wrap.
more episodes we've got for the season, but it
I
feels
don't
like it's
think there
coming
would.
to the close, doesn't it? Don't
Yeah,
you feel
it
like there's just a
does.
few more episodes? Yeah.
It's almost the finale for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got to be soon. It feels like a long season, actually.
Doesn't feel like that long, but it does feel
Mm.
like, okay, we've got the engagement done. We're getting to this kind of point, yeah, where the Jackson Brittany stuff is kind of done and dusted.
Done.
So, yeah,
Yeah, it's coming to a
I
natural
reckon an
close.
episode or two and that will be it.
Yeah,
Mm.
and then we'll have reunions. So yeah. All right. Well, that's a
Love
wrap for
it.
the Valley
Good
this
one,
week.
Nishi. I'll go ahead and see if I can edit this one.
Sounds good. Bye.
Bye.